All right. So you're Nightlord, level 253.
Yes.
And Rip Andy QQ.
Yeah.
Is that in reference to something?
Yeah, so when I first started playing, I was a dual blade.
Mm-hmm.
And I was basically duoing everything with my friend Andy. He has since then been half quit.
Yeah.
But ever since he's been half quit, he's also been MVP red. So I don't know.
Okay. He retired to become a Heneho.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I hit 255 and now his con is almost... I mean, I hit 250 and his con is almost 250 now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been playing like maybe once a week. It's stupid.
Yeah. Kinda diff. So how's the Nightlord feeling?
I like it a lot better. I like it a lot better.
Mm-hmm. Better than the dual blade.
I really liked dual blade, but Nightlord just does so much damage.
Yeah, true.
Nightlord's lines and bursts just feel so much better.
Yeah, I mean, it's cracked, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you have your friend set up. I guess maybe he's not playing as much anymore, but if you have that kind of setup, full domain, you just chunk them, chunk the bosses. And mobbing wise, feels good.
Mobbing wise, feels a lot better. I think the second I job advanced, it was like 100 mil more rates just per hour.
Mm-hmm.
And that felt great. That felt really good.
And okay, so what kind of stuff do you do, like on a daily basis, weekly basis? What kind of stuff are you trying to get to?
Okay, so the reason I asked for a progression session is because I don't know whether or not I want to be going 5-set Arcane or if I want to go 22 Absos. Because going into H-Will and H-Elucid, even though I have like enough damage to qualify for parties, I want to be doing a lot more than I currently am. I used to not have enough damage, and somebody in my guild who was just super cracked was carrying all the bosses. But now that a lot of my old guild is just quitting, taking a break, I very much so need more damage.
Right.
And I want to know what's more optimal for me to be doing with my meso.
Well, from that point of view, I would say that if you have the damage and you can join the runs, aiming for Arcane is going to be like optimally the best way to go, because like 22 Abso would be stronger, of course, than 17 Arcanes, but with the increased access with upcoming patches for droplets, it's way more free, quote unquote, to get that very high baseline, plus your weapon attack, higher weapon attack from all the Star Force, plus the base attack of the weapon is way higher, right?
Yeah. I know.
Even the Abso base attack of the weapon is kind of sad. 103. Yeah.
I know for a fact that I'm going to be getting the weapon soon. I just need a couple more droplets before I could just buy out the weapon before the no boom room comes out. Goes away rather.
Yeah, before it goes away.
So I should be able to get that no problem. But like, I guess when I was just trying to do like the math for all the costs and stuff, since I don't even have enough droplets for the weapon, like how much more cost efficient is getting like 19 Arcanes versus having to buy out all the droplets for the rest of the 4-set Arcane versus 22 or 21 Absos, right?
Yeah, there's definitely a strong case to be made, I would say, for like a 21 or like a 17 Arcane weapon and then 21 rest set Absos. I think you can make a strong argument for that. It will be, of course, expensive, and you get a 20 to 21 tap them all and hope that nothing booms there. Getting all of your Arcanes eventually to 19 and buying all of those is not super expensive, and will get you at the point or a little bit past 21. Like 17. Like to give you the order, like full 21 Abso would be like, let's say that would be the baseline, right? And then I'm pretty sure then you'd have 22-star Abso, and then you'd have like 21 Abso with a 17-star Arcane weapon would be better than that. And then it would be, and like full 17-star Arcane would be lower, like than full. Well, would probably be in between 21-star Abso and switching over to the weapon would be like somewhere in between there. But if you go full 19-star Arcane, that would be above like 17-star weapon and 21 Arcane pieces. And because honestly, because of the increased drop rate and because of the access to droplets soon, you just brute forcing it by buying the droplets. It's a very high upfront cost, but then you can already stop at 19, and that's cool, because up to 19 is very low risk. And I think you'll find, well, unless you're horribly unlucky, and I don't want to like jinx you, but unless you're really unlucky, you'll find that is pretty manageable. Even just to get the 17 adult first and then just build up more money. The best part is going to be once you're killing the bosses more and you have the boss droplets, it's only just going to be about having money back up, and you can even go to higher level areas. And I've heard people going into Cernium and Burnium switch back to Dual Blade, right, because of the hitboxes and the repeatability of the 5th job skills, and that makes the rates a lot better there then. But that should allow you to just keep focusing on just leveling without needing to really stay in a certain area because of droplets and that kind of stuff, right? Unless you also need the familiars and everything, that's probably better to stay in Limina longer, etc. But yeah, that way you can just keep going, and then Mezzo is just the one resource that will give you access to everything. It's just like, oh, is there a 510-15 soon? How much money do I have? What can I aim for? And then that's like the only thing that you have to look at that point. Right, so if it comes to Absos and getting 22 Abso, and then you boom something, then you have to go back to doing the weeklies and transfer over again, and then tap again, and then if it goes wrong, it's like the extra step every time.
The only reason that I was considering going into Arcanes is because I much prefer grinding for hours over doing the stupid scrapyard quests.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate the scrapyard quests so much.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like it really.
But because I know I like per day I'm pretty much only grinding like 1 bill meso, and I'm planning on slowing down a lot more after I hit around like not 255, a little bit after 255, but I don't think I'm gonna be grinding much to 260. So
if there's good events, maybe, right?
Yeah. If time allows during this event where I have like the 3.5 times the XP, I'll see how far towards 260 I get.
Yeah.
But I'm also insane, and I've been grinding off totem for like 90% of my 250 life.
Okay.
So
do you have access to totems, or?
Kind of. I definitely don't buy them out every month, because I don't think I make enough reward points or collect the reward points as often as I should. But
you get a pop-up, right? Every time you try to log out, if you have reward points
after the change from bossing, where you just click once, I've definitely been a lot more.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, it's such a chore before. It's like, just give me the points. Just don't make me jump through 4 hoops to get what I've earned. Yeah, it's definitely a good quality of life.
But I think I can be buying out all the totems if I'm just better about claiming my boss rewards, claiming my monster collection. I just don't.
Yeah. Well, yeah, nothing I can really say there. If you're already doing those parts, it's up to you to do the last step. Yeah.
But grinding off totem is fine too. I can be a lot more lazy about it. I basically just jump in circles because my marks don't one-shot. But I guess that would actually be my other question, because getting marks to one-shot, I don't even think looks feasible to me, and that's one of the main reasons why I want to go to 21-star Absos over trying to get 18, 19 Arcanes, is because I think the Nightlords say I need like 3 times my range, something like that, for my marks to start one-shotting.
Well, it's gonna be a
And
combination of a lot of things, most likely, right?
yeah,
A lot of
along with
moving
like,
parts. What area
along with
do you train in now?
yeah. Right now I'm in Moonbridge, so when I'm feeling extra lazy, I'm just sitting in LH2
Mm-hmm.
and doing my circles. But when I'm on Totem, when I'm on coupons, I always go to VC3.
Right. And you're just at the point where you do full bonus damage, right?
Yes.
Yeah, like 730.
I
Yeah, like
think I have 5 more
1.1-ish.
than I need.
Yeah. So do you have any hyperstep points in there?
Yes. Oh, I didn't screenshot that, did I?
Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, just scroll down.
Yeah.
Just checking. For like
Yeah,
attack and arcane power, how much you have there.
yeah. So attack, I'm at 10, and arcane force, I'm at 7.
Mm-hmm.
And then those are the last of my points inputted in.
Okay. And for I guess to make sure we get everything clear with the hyperstats, are you relying on the book cat thing for the crit rate right now?
Oh no.
Okay.
I hit 100% without Bugcat.
Okay. And also not for the IED? Do you have any IED right now from that? I don't know if you're doing it.
So I think I've missed a day or 2.
Well, I haven't done it at all, so no judgment from me.
But it's currently giving me 0 IED.
Okay. Yeah, just so we have that clear for the for the calcs and everything.
Yeah. But 90 IED isn't bad for Nightlords, right? Because Frailty Curse.
Yeah, Frailty Curse.
That I get the extra 30%, so I'm fine for now.
Yeah, I still mind blown by Frailty Curse, how you need to get a hyper skill to make it work on bosses when it's an IED reduction and that doesn't do anything for regular monsters. That still just blows my mind, but
yeah, it's a little bit annoying. I could use that point on
it's
on
like
an additional 10% or something like that.
Yeah, just getting robbed out of a free point. It's kind of rude, but okay. Yeah, so for hyperstep points, there's probably some optimization possible there. Because once you go so high in like luck and attack and you have the arcane power up that high, it's probably going to be an okay time to start looking at going over 10 maybe in some points. But we'll look at the Legion grid and stuff as well. Okay, so your main question was like Abso and Arcane, so we can further flush that out with like income and where everything is already at right now.
Okay.
And the other question was on like where to train or?
Not exactly where to train, but
with the Assassin's Marks.
With the upgrades to my equips in mind, like where should I be going with those to help me start one-shotting and training a little bit easier?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so we'll have to double check boost nodes and all the other stuff. Okay. Are there any specific topics that you have more questions on? Firstly, like I don't know, like familiars or Legion or links or whatever.
So I've watched like almost every progression session.
Okay.
So I think I have a basic.
Well, I hope so, because it's like 100 of them.
Yeah. Well, at least the ones recently, but yeah.
Okay.
I think I have a good foundation on it, but if you see anything that's like strikingly bad, then
I'll let you know.
Of course, I'm doing something.
Yeah.
Doing something wrong. Yeah.
So how much do you work on Legion?
So my friends play me for it all the time.
So not as much as you.
So not as much as I should. But I definitely do every burning. I do every burning event. Make sure I get 200 levels per. But for example, my Mercedes is still level 70, and I am completely fine with my Mercedes staying at level 70 forever.
And what about the Burninator now? Do you have a plan? Did you use that one, or do you have a plan for it?
Yeah, so I used that on Jet to get it to level 150. So now I'm just pushing that from 150 to 200.
Right.
And I honestly love that class now.
Yeah, they made some good changes to it.
Jet feels really nice. But for the 2 in the registration event, the Lara pre-creation, I'm thinking of finally getting my Merc to 210.
Mm-hmm.
That might be something that I'm doing. Or that, or I'm getting Hayato or Shade to 200,
Right.
and then the other one to 150 off of the burns.
Yeah. The other one of the 2 crits, or the other one being maybe the Mercedes to at least level 2 length there.
Honestly, I'm trying to decide between the 3 of them.
Yeah.
Because I'm pushing for 255 right now,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm doing like 10%ish a day, sometimes 15, sometimes 20, depending on how much I want to play, really.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the Mercedes link would definitely be nice for that.
Yeah, yeah. It's one of those where you don't really notice it actively, right? Because it's just a bunch of numbers on the right side, and it just gets lost in there. But you will, across the board, your rates will just get a nice boost. When it comes to the critical damage, you'll see it in your stat window whenever you open it, and maybe you'll see the numbers get a little bit bigger, so it's more tangible. But and therefore it's also good, of course. I think just building up. If you're still going on Legion and you want to go at least to 6K, then yeah, I would say to get at least a level 2 link for Mercedes. If you're not really planning to go for like 8K or something, I think a level 2 for Mercedes is fine.
Okay.
So yeah, maybe doing the Shade or the Hayato to 200 with the Terra Burninator, and then using the Mega Burninator to get the Mercedes like to 150 or something. That'll be fine, and then through like bonking events or something like that, you can slowly get some levels up, and then once the Mercedes hits like 180 or something from a bonk, you're like, okay, now I'm just gonna throw some money on it, grind out the last levels, and then suffer to 202, and then maybe use some level up potions or something. There's always some of that stuff coming around, and then eventually it'll get up there. But if you're just aiming for 6K, level 2 links I think are fine, right? Because if you just make all the classes around 140, 150, and you fill out your entire board, then you're there. And that's one of the main things, I think, like from an efficiency standpoint, that you could do to really just get a lot of easy levels so you can tell everyone that you have 6K Legion, is just make 12 more characters and get them to level 60.
Oh, yeah. So the main part of my Legion is actually just a ton of level 70 characters.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But you have 12 more characters you can throw in there, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I
so
do.
that's like 5K already if you fill out the slots.
I just send them through Gold Beach and Elena Fairy Academy.
Yeah, whatever you
call it a day.
Whatever works for you, yeah. And if you make most of those out of 100s, then you're done. Then you're 6K. Because you do have a significant amount of characters above, like 200 and above, because of all the Terra burns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm definitely planning on getting 6K eventually.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm ever gonna go for 8K, but
yeah, that's a big commitment. So
it's always an option for me
mm-hmm.
if I continue playing.
Yep. And once you have the characters, you have them all at 60 or 70, right? You get those level 1 links in. 100 is not too far away, and then once you have 100, you could just log in, kill Zakum, log out, and you don't really have to do all that much more on a character. And if you float them all to 140, with the other high level characters you have, then 7K should be pretty fast there.
Yeah.
Then 7 to 8 will be like significant time investment, but at that point you'll be able to make the decision better, I think, because your main will be probably a little bit stagnating level wise as well, and then you can be like, okay, do I want to brute force my main through, or do I just want to work on Legion so that my main gets stronger even though I'm not like actively on the main? Maybe it'll depend on your totems as well. If you don't get too many totems in a month, you can just work a little bit on Legion and it'll be fine. Maybe working on the main off totem will probably feel a lot worse the higher you go.
Yeah,
because you're not getting that feedback of any numbers going up anymore.
But I've been spending almost all of my time on my main recently because ever since I job advanced to a Nightlord, this happened like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, and I definitely did not have the node income that I thought I did. So my nodes look like garbage right now. So I've been hard farming for nodes just every day.
It's still a lot to catch up on.
Yeah, I was like near max nodes on Dual Blade. Not near max nodes on Nightlord.
I mean, the boost nodes are coming along quite nicely.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that it's bad at all. I mean, it does mean that there's definitely some gains to be made, right, when it comes to like your assassin's marks.
Yeah.
Not one-shotting. I mean, there's still 10 levels, so that's 20% final damage that's still able to gain there. That's significant, of course.
Yeah. They've went up a little bit since I actually did the
The screenshots?
collection, the screenshots, yeah. But not by that much. It's basically the same thing.
So what did you keep over from? Oh, did you get rid of all the dual blade ones?
So just to have enough nodes to be able to do bossing, I got rid of the dual blade ones so that I could stay Nightlord and actually have a good time.
I see. And then what if you want to go to Cernium? You're gonna start all over on the dual blade.
Yeah, but the FMAs are super strong regardless. I don't know anything about Cernium and how strong the monsters actually are there.
They're quite strong. Let's say
But,
that my spell bullets were kind of like your assassin's marks. Those were able to one-shot pretty much all the time, no problem. And then when I moved into Cernium, I was able to like two-shot or one-shot with most of my other skills, but the bullets were probably like 8-shotting or something.
That might be a problem.
Yeah,
That
but
might
there's some stuff coming, right? So the reboot passive change coming should increase our damage by a lot, and there's also a big HP cut coming to high level monsters for all the servers. So that should put things, more square within your range. But yeah, definitely, like at the moment that you start thinking about moving over, you're not going to be Assassin's Mark one-shotting. At best they're going to be like 5-shotting or something, even with all the changes going through. But
I guess
you just don't rely on them.
I guess my question for that is, I know a main limiting factor is the like new symbol, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't have enough. Because if I do get to 260, I might plan on just sitting at 260 for a while. How long would I be planning on sitting just to get like symbols to a decent spot that I could maybe farm just as a Nightlord instead?
That's tricky because if you get 265, then you double up your rates, right? You get two sets of dailies.
Because Burnium and there's also Hotel, right?
Yeah, so 260 you get 5, and at 265 you can get another 5, and then at 270 you get the second symbol, and that one can also get 5 in there. So many people would like go to 250 or to 255 and then just kind of sit on there and be like, new area isn't out anyway. But now if you want to build up your arcane power, it's like, the old go to 235 to get to Asphera, and now is like go to 270 so you can start doing hotel dailies, which is of course quite a big jump from 260. It's a significant commitment.
Maybe not 270, but 260, 265 sounds reasonable. I don't know the leveling curve past 260, but I'll find out eventually.
Yeah, if you can train in Cernium, it's very forgiving. Otherwise, you're just people past 260 and past 265 still in Limina to get cards and droplets and money and all that stuff. They're posting like 1 to 2% per totem basically at that point. But if you go to Cernium, the rates can be quite good. I think with the current event, there were people posting up to like I think 15% per totem in the 270s in Burning Cernium training if you're strong enough for that.
That sounds actually pretty great for that level.
Yeah. Yeah, past 75 gets cut in half again, of course. So then it becomes very unforgiving. But yeah, that's usually what I did. Like, so I sat on 250 for a while, and there was a big event, so I hopped to 255, and then wait for another big event, and I got to 260. Basically, just like 5 levels at a time, just grinding it out during one event, and then in the meantime, just work on weeklies, work on other characters, work on Legion, that kind of stuff. Well, not so much Legion for me because I did Legion a long time ago, but just like side projects and stream stuff.
But my only gripe with trying to go to farm in Thernium and Burnium is I would just feel kind of inefficient not making money while grinding.
Yeah, in the
That's like,
beginning you'll have to go full damage gear. After a
yeah,
while, once the arcane, the sacred power comes in, then you can start. Well, depending on how strong you are, of course, you can start training in meso gear, and then get enough drop rate from your other sources, and then once, yeah, and then the next step would be to go to burnium, and then go back into damage gear, and then go burnium in meso gear, and then long distance would be like hotel. But yeah, the amount of sacred power you need for that is quite nuts. It's
yeah.
not too,
But
not too possible.
that's the reason why I don't Kana farm, even though I spend a ton of time on Maple.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel kind of inefficient making Meso or making EXP without getting the other.
Yeah.
But at
Yeah,
this point, I think I might have to start Kana farming.
I think a lot of people are planning to go to like 265 or something in Limina. I don't think that's necessary, but it's possible. If it takes that long to get strong, then you might say like to 265. And some people are even planning to just stay up to 275. I think that's gonna take forever.
Yeah.
I would never do that personally, but plus that area is getting more crowded every day because of all the Kana farmers getting into Limina. So getting any kind of proper map is going to get harder and harder. So moving out and getting into Cernium and Burnium is just going to be necessary. Not to say that the rates are bad. Like, well, I'm able to train. Before I was able to go into meso rates and training in. I never trained in Cernium. I went straight to burning Cernium. But like training there, I think it was around. I do have meso obtained in my inner like you do. I remember exactly how it was. I think it was like 350 mil an hour or something. And then getting it to full meso gear, make a bit more than 600 mil an hour now. Which I think
that is a lot higher than my rates in Moonbridge as a dual blade.
Yeah, so it's not like when people say like high rates and bad rates, a lot of times people are comparing it to like making a bill an hour. But if you're training on your main, people aren't making that. Like only like shadowers in the best maps in Limina can maybe make that. Maybe some zeros or some cannoneers can, and then that's it. Most other people are usually making like up to 800 max. So if you're like, okay, Limina has droplets, has the familiars, but what if you don't really need the familiars much anymore, and you can get the droplets from the shop, and you're mainly just trying to get EXP, and your just totem rates for EXP are just soul crushing. Going down from like 800 mil an hour to like 300, but more than doubling your EXP rates or like close to tripling your EXP rates, I think is worth it. Especially then if you do that for like 5 levels, or for enough time to build up your sacred power, and then that means you can go into meso gear and get pretty close to the old rates while still maintaining way more EXP rates. I think that's worth it. And enough worth it to not have to sidetrack into a Kana farmer. But again, like if you're if you're in time constraints, or you need the flexibility for the Kana, or you just want to scale up it like crazy because you're going to play like 80 hours a week, and then the Kana farmer is obviously a great investment. But yeah, I will always double check before, because the further you're going to go into Kana farmer, the more money you're going to be sidetracking before it starts generating income. And the nodes, right? And you're looking at maybe going into Cernium and Burnium. Maybe as a dual blade, you'll have to switch the nodes again. You want to remake those, so you're looking at probably needing about 3,000 nodes again, or 4,000. So the question is, could be worth it, could not be worth it. Depends on your time and how hard you want to go.
With that in mind, because I thought the meso rates were just abysmal. I never actually looked at any of the numbers in Burnium and Cernium. I just always heard, oh yeah, the meso rates are bad, but the EXP is good enough that you give it up, right? But it's not even as bad as I thought. I thought you would be making like 100 mil an hour or something absurdly low like that.
Yeah, but, it depends. Especially in the beginning, also we had the vac pets, so that cushioned the blow a little bit as well. But that also made the rates in the other maps a little bit better, because then you could just focus on killing more rather than on looting. And vac pets probably, I'm expecting them to come around this winter event, which would mean the transition into Cernium wouldn't be as bad, because then you could just hardcore focus on training, especially if you're talking about like circling the map all the time just to get the assassin's marks to do something productive, then that means that you're just actively looting the whole time, and you have the good vertical mobility, right? You can get from one side of the map, horizontal mobility, and at vertical you have your rope lift. So, how has it changed to the extra up jump, by the way?
Oh, it was my favorite change of the patch.
Yeah,
I love it.
better than the throw blasting.
Yeah, no, I definitely like it more because I never felt like how much throw blasting was of my burst. I didn't know if it was even a big part of my burst until I started looking more into it. So then I started dumping all my nodes into it because it's actually a lot of my burst, and I've been trolling.
Yeah. Wait, so your the last resort didn't that one get saved over from dual blade?
Accidentally, no.
Oh, you extracted it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was very much so my bad.
Okay.
That was the one node I didn't keep.
Yikes. Yeah.
Yeah, but
well, we
it
learn
was
we learn from those.
Yep, I definitely extracted it for no good reason.
Yikes. Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, I don't
But
see anything.
after being a dual blade for so long and having blade ascent, it's so much nicer being able to use Shadow Web as much as I use a blade ascension on a dual blade.
Right. Yeah. You didn't have
It
to
feels
wait for
so
the
much
cooldown.
more fluid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the dark side change with the duration drop instead of the full knockout when you get hit by stuff.
Yeah.
That's probably very useful, and then your burst is just bigger. And the change to quadruple throw, right?
Yeah. The change to quad throw actually feels very nice, because I used to not be able to one burst Helix back when I first job changed. And sitting in P2 Helix, just throwing stars, dealing negative percentage to his health.
Yeah.
Was
not a good time.
Felt really bad. Yeah.
So now you can just vavoom, burst him down, blow him up. That's good. Yeah, so nodes is still going to be a ongoing thing. Last resort. I don't think does last resort final damage go up that much, maxing it? It's like the uptime is different, right?
Yeah, I think I looked at the numbers, and it's like you get maybe 3% extra final damage. But
it's like the cooldown.
I think the main thing is you're missing the cooldown, and then you're missing the attack power per level.
Yeah.
But 90 seconds is around good for burst, so it's for bind and burst, so it's pretty okay for now.
You guys have a 3-minute cooldown?
Well, so the Kanas in my party just half bind every time, so every like 90-ish seconds, whenever bind is up, they'll just bind. So it's every like 2 minutes, and then since we have a hero, every 4 minutes we bind.
Oh yeah, you go for the hero, yeah.
Yeah.
But because spread throw is at like 180, right? And throw blasting as well?
Yeah, they're both at 180 now. So we could bind every 3 minutes, but since we have a hero, we'll bind every 4 anyways, so we do bind 2 binds.
Yeah, so for timing wise, it doesn't help much with last resort, because you go down to 75. So even when you're soloing, that like desyncs from everything. It's not really useful.
Yeah, that I wasn't too devastated after I lost my last resort node, but
yeah, I guess level 1 is pretty close. Yeah, it's 3% final damage. Yeah. Up to 6% at the final stage. Yeah. I mean, it adds up, but it's kind of risky anyway. When you're just learning the character, you probably don't want to go super ham immediately.
Yeah. I've definitely started working on those skill nodes a lot more. With the node drops I get I think around like 30-ish a day. So
yeah, that's good progress.
It's going up slowly.
Yeah.
But it's getting there.
It's just Okay, but I guess if everything under control there, I don't see anything really weird or anything missing. I guess you know the priority of the skills and everything, right? Shadow Walker is pretty good, I think.
I like can kind of know the priority of skills just based off of what I think is good. I never really looked into it too much. The only thing that I looked into was throw blasting, and realizing that it's a big part of my burst. So I started dumping nodes there, but I don't actually know how much damage the other V skills do.
The Shadow Walker goes up to 16% as well.
Yeah, Shadow Walker goes up by a bit of final damage every time, and then
cooldown down to 190.
I think it's the cooldown. Yeah.
So for soloing, that's pretty nice. That gets it really close to the other ones.
Yeah, and it's a lot more consistent if I actually have it up for second bind or not. Because sometimes I'm a couple seconds off, so I have to do it like mid-bind, mid-burst.
Yeah, that's not the most fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess spread throw is the biggest, and well, spread throw and throw blasting together are the biggest ones, right?
Yeah, I dumped enough nodes in spread throw to make it last 40 seconds, so I could do my BAs without being trolled too hard.
Without everyone being like, what the fuck is this low ass range? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I've told people, like, because when I first OJ'd, I was I think 3T burst, and then everyone's like, you're 250 plus with 3T burst, and I'm just like, yeah, I might be trolling my nodes a little bit.
I mean, if you just switch that's fine.
But since then, I've grown in 1T burst, so I'm a solid 4T, and I'm decently happy with it.
Yeah, I'm not sure where a Nightlord would be at. It's 30. Oh yeah, you're at 33. Yeah. Class. I'm wondering if stat-wise you're a bit. Oh, I picked the wrong one. Bit lower where I would expect you to be. Just grinding it out. Maybe a little, but not that much. It's gonna be a combination of stuff, right? Boost nodes, 20% final damage there. It's obviously massive.
I think right now my marks and quad throw are at level 55 right now, so I just need a little bit more, and they're done.
Yep, that's fine. You're still looking for that last one for the sudden raid?
Oh, I actually found that.
Oh, you found that. Nice. Okay.
I'm so happy.
Finally done with those, yeah.
Yeah, I never got perfect trios on my dual blade.
Yeah, those are a bit harder, right? There's a few more weird shit in there.
Yeah, there's a few more just useless nodes. Yeah. But I was never able to find it. I was so mad. My friend Andy made a dual blade in my honor, and it had perfect trios.
Before you, yeah. Typical. Yep. Typical. Okay, but yeah, I don't know if you have any other questions for V Matrix.
Nah, I think I should be fine.
Okay.
I do plan on maxing all the skill nodes even decent eventually, but that's gonna take me a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if by that time it might be better in the short term to like hold a little bit if you do want to switch back to dual blade, at least for the training, and then
at least for training.
Yeah, then throw enough nodes in there to be able to do what you want to do, and then go back to the decent, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, what is this? Oh, it's the old dagger.
Oh yeah, that's my old dagger. I bought it, and then I switched out of dual blade and decided I'm never coming back. It's sad.
Oh yeah, that's why droplet-wise you're.
That's why I'm
starting over,
fucked on droplets.
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense. Holy Dawn Pennant, yeah, that's pretty nice. And the secondary should be future-proof.
I guess I didn't update it, but I got it transposed.
Ah, grats.
Yeah.
That's
But
another
now
project.
it's sitting as drop gear.
Mm-hmm. How are you doing familiar-wise?
Familiar-wise, I'm doing really good, actually. I just unlocked my 3rd familiar slot last night. It's going along nicely. I don't have large drop yet, but I have large drop and meso. I have all my healing fams. One of them has attack percent on it, and then I have auto steal 7%.
Mm-hmm. So are you using
But
any familiars in this screenshot, by the way?
oh, in that screenshot, I can't remember actually. I think
Okay.
I'm using a single 10%, 15% IED, but I don't think I'm using both of the 15%.
So you're
Because I only had 2 slots at the time, so
right,
I had the 3% attack and 15% IED on.
Right, you use that one for Will, and then, well, I guess you can use it for both.
Yeah.
For both
Since it has the 3% attack on it, I kind of just, now that I have 3 slots, I have all 3 of the familiars on. 2 15%, and then large healing and 3% attack.
And you're so are you fusing like a lot of epics and rares, just looking for like drop rate, boss damage, that kind of stuff?
I've been fusing a ton of unique, actually.
Yep. Yeah, if you make enough, then
And
go for that.
I've been seeing a lot of outlined in reds.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, pretty cool.
Yeah. It'll be really fun once you end up with like a 35% boss and an outline in red, and that has to be your bossing.
Oh, I really hope that's not what's happening.
Happens to some people. It's like, why are you outlining? Oh, you hit the jackpot, didn't you? Yep. And you're just kind of stuck with that forever.
Because that messes with dark side. I don't know if I'm in dark side or not.
Oh, it looks really weird. Probably, yeah. That's not the greatest. Yeah, we went over Legion. Like Legion board is fine. Do you have 2 setups, like one for mobbing and one for boss, or one for Legion stuff and one for your main kind of thing?
The one for Legion is instead of going into IED and boss damage, it's just crit rate and EXP.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Symbols are coming along nicely. Anything with your symbol dailies? I don't know if there's anything. I don't know.
No. Nothing.
Dream Defender. What floor are you doing? Dream Defender?
I'm doing 100.
Yeah, and you built up with the, because that's the meta, right? You build up with the with the dual blade, and then you can crush it out with a Nightlord.
Yeah. Yeah. As a dual blade, I think if I had guild skills on, I might have been able to push for 110, but that was a very maybe. So
and you have to have enough points to use the bells and everything.
Yeah. So I'm just sitting in floor 100. I don't know if that's high or not, but it's what I'm doing, and I get to do it consistently.
Yeah, all the characters I maxed out on, by the time I was ready to jump from 90 to 100 is like the time when I was basically also maxing, so I didn't really bother with it. Because it was like, I can just do like one more week on 90 as well and just be whatever.
So, I definitely should have a lot of maxed symbols by now, but daily farming was just kind of hell for me for a while, so I skipped out on like maybe 3-ish months. That's why H-Muto is not maxed out yet.
Yeah, I mean, if you keep doing it at the normal rate, it'll still max out first. You know, if you do them all in a day, then Fencing Journey and Choo-Choo is still gonna max out first. They'll pass Arcana.
I just learned how to do Spirit Savior.
Okay, yeah.
I just learned how to do Spirit Savior like a month ago, so pretty good. My Arcana symbol's now moving pretty nicely.
Yeah, you only need the 110k run as well. You can just auto complete, so that's pretty nice. Okay. Yeah. So link skill wise and legion wise, like that combination is definitely also going to be responsible for some gains, right?
Yeah.
The Fury Unleashed has a potential 10% damage.
That's
Unfair advantage 6%. Solo's another 5%. Empirical knowledge another, what is it, 6 or something? I don't know what empirical knowledge 2 does exactly.
yeah. At level 2, it's only getting me
3%?
1% per stack.
1%? Yeah. Yes, yeah. Okay.
1% per stack, and then
Yes, so 3 in total, yeah.
actually, even one more level would double the efficiency there.
Yep.
But I just haven't got around to it yet.
And you're using time to prepare over... I don't know if you've calced that or you've asked out of Nightlords, because like there's a bunch of other ones that are probably... Yeah, I don't know if they're better or not, like the Kinesis one, right?
Yeah, I still need to get my Kinesis to level 70 for the level 1 crit, the level 1 link, but...
Yeah, it'll be 2%. I don't know if at that point it's worth... Because your crit is a little bit higher, right? Because it's a Nightlord. 72.
Yeah.
Oh.
Crit rate's pretty high, crit damage is also pretty high. At least compared to what I was as a dual blade. I don't know how it compares to other classes.
Right, dual blade was more about the IED built in and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I had something stupid like a 97 effective IED when I just wasn't using the 100% IED
and
skills.
then the other half of the time you were at 100, yeah.
And this is when I had like 80 something visual IED.
There's a lot of bonuses going in there, for sure. Yeah.
It was pretty nice not having to worry about IED when I was building up an account.
Oh yeah, for sure. You come online for 5th job bossing and CRA so quickly, pretty much immediately. Yeah. Okay. And then hyperstat. Yeah, we're gonna look at that. Keep hyperstats on. Yeah, it says Legion builds out. I mean, it's mainly just gonna go more into what you're already doing, right? I guess for critical rate, eventually. Yeah, this is if you're like 8k legioning, right? Because then in your higher level, then crit rate hyperset's going to be easy, and then your board is going to have some leftover, and then probably going to go into crit rate, and at that point you'll be able to reduce some of the link skills. But until then, this seems fine. Yeah, just some level 1s, level 2s here and there will be relatively cheap upgrade, right? Like the Cadena and the DS at least. Yeah,
there's strong classes too, so I don't mind grinding them out a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's just I've been spending so much time on my main just fixing the fact that I open job at advanced that I
want to get back to your old level of
yeah.
Yeah, it's tough to take like a big step back like that without wanting to like fast track back into where you were. Yeah. I can understand that. And you got the Thief's Cunning stacked. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if there's much to go over with the link skills, I guess. Kind of makes sense. Yeah, maybe the Kinesis, but that's about it, right? If you have enough idea from other stuff.
How worth it is making a jet link, actually? Because now I have the level 2 link skill, right?
Yeah.
So I could actually start funding that if it's worth my time, right?
Yeah, that one's a bit tricky because it's a little bit less visible on how good it is, because if you compare it with another link, like with a flat damage link will always look quite a bit better, but the problem is that when you start bossing, your boss damage comes in, and then the damage link basically loses like around half efficiency, right? For you, it loses more than half efficiency, right? Because your boss damage is even higher than your damage bonus. So that means that you can't really look at it that way. So you either have to get a calculator, or you have to do some calculus to be like, okay, I went up by this much when I use this link skill. Unequip it, equip the jet skill, see how much that gives me, and then do like the calculation of what the percentage of your damage. Just a little bit yikes. Or you have a calculator that kind of does it for you. I'm pretty sure that's now, right? But then when the reboot passive changes, then comparatively the damage bonus is going to be more valuable than it is now, because it's going to represent a bigger percentage part of your total thing. So it'll actually get closer. So I'd almost say at this point, kind of just maybe just wait it out until the winter and see where everything goes. And then if a calculator tells you like, oh, you can get like 2% final damage from spending like a few bill here, maybe that's not worth it now, but maybe that's worth it once you're like approaching level 270 and you want to do like Tenebra's bosses, and you're like, okay, every upgrade is so ridiculously expensive at this point. Actually swapping to the Jet Link would be a big upgrade. Or, you know, by that time, maybe you get a lot more crit from other sources, and you're maybe dropping one of your crit links, and then you're like, oh, what's the first one that takes its place? Boom, then the Jet Link is just a full upgrade, and then you don't really have to do the maths. Then it's like, that's the straightforward one to throw in there.
Okay.
That's probably what'll happen.
Makes sense. I guess my one main question on links is Bravado.
Yeah.
Does it give IED on the first hit only?
No,
or does it give IED
passive.
and damage percent?
Yeah. ID is always,
Okay.
and then the damage extra is just on the first hit. Yeah. So
It's
if you
just on
have
the first hit, okay.
Yeah, so if you're choosing between a 0 or this one, you still pick this one because at least it gives a little bit of damage. Because the 0 reduced damage is not 2%, sadly, so that's kind of useless. Okay. All right, I guess we're off to the equips then, right? So we're taking into account. Well, the other thing, I guess I would say, just to circle back, like with the hyper stats, it's probably a good idea to to get rid of some of the attack and some of the luck and start pushing a few of them past 10 on the damage. Yeah, part of this is also kind of like calculator work, but I
think I used to have before I wanted the arcane power for Will. I think that was actually 15 crit damage, and then just 10s and 5s everywhere else.
Wow, that
I don't know how efficient
Yeah.
going past 10 is, so.
Well, past 10 is fine at this point, but going to 15 probably isn't. People usually don't go past like 13 until you're past 275, and you have just so many points to roll around with. Until then, you basically just build everything up to like 13, 12, 11, around there.
Okay.
So, well, your critical damage, yeah, 72. It's gonna go up a little bit more if the Kinesis Link comes in there, and there is technically possibility for another line on your gloves, and then you're chilling. Yeah, and the ID, not too bad to go for that. I try to just get all of them like 11 and see where you're at then. Because it's like 50 points, right? So that's 200. I had the calculator the other day. Hyper stat points. I think it had like exactly, it was like 192 or something to get to 10. Oh, 150. I know. Yeah, and to get to 11 is 200 points cumulatively. So that does mean if you get a level 10 and level 8 out, that's definitely enough to get all the other ones to level 11. And then you'll be left with 35 points, and then you can divide those over attack and luck.
So if I'm redoing my hyper stats literally right now, so should I should keep crit damage, ID damage, and boss damage all at 10, and then start tapping to 11s, or should I also keep like 5 in luck, 5 in attack, and things like that?
Well, I put 5 in crit, right? So you hit 100%, and then I just put the crit damage, ID damage, whatever. Those 4, I get those all to 11. And then just leftover points into attack, and then if anything is left, then go into luck. And then basically next levels, you'll just add a little bit more luck, a little bit more attack. Because, yeah, before you go up to 12, that's gonna be like past 260s area before you start thinking about that. Probably closer to 265.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Alright, I'll zoom out a little bit from the equips, but I saw some good stuff. So the CRA is 21. Yeah, yes. WSE, you're not going too hard for the claw because you're buying the new one, right?
Yeah, I should have an arcane claw before this event ends, so that I could no boom room it.
Yeah, that should save plenty of money. Emblem, yeah. And the hat. I guess for the dual blade, the hat was pretty important if you got cooldown reduction, right? For this one, not so much. For this one, it's just luck.
I tilted off of MapleStory for a little bit after I got 1 second, 1 second, and then % luck. It could have been so good.
That is really close to being insanely good, and then...
It could have been 4 second and luck.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter anymore, so it's okay.
That's part of why you just left and became a Nightlord. So you have to feel less bad about that. That's a nice flame. Yeah. So the main question was like pushing harder on Abso, because the main thing with pushing harder on Abso is like if you already have legendary Abso, transfer hammering over that and having to redo the potential. That's one thing that might be a little bit. And then you're probably also doing it to 20 and then having to risk 20 to 21 on all of them as well, which has significant chance of booming. I know that it feels, because you're going for the weapon now, that it's going to take forever to get to like full Arcane set, but it's really, once you have the boss clears, it's really just brute forcing it with money, right? Because you know the upcoming event has 900 droplets in it. That's already enough to buy, but even if you don't have enough, then that's also fine, because after that it becomes permanently available in the shop. So it's just a war of attrition, just like make enough money and get it basically.
But I was like in the calculator just like talking with friends like, what am I going to do? Should I be 21 Abso gamer? Should I be like 17, 18 Arcane gamer type things? And like just getting the Arcane equips themselves is taking me as much as getting to like 20, 21 on my Absos. And that's the whole reason why I was just like, should I even go Arcanes?
So if you're going, well, okay. So how did you do the calculations? Did you start with your current 17 and then say 17 to 21?
For the most part I did zeros actually, but I probably should have started at 17s and then go for 21. But at most that's like a 1 bill difference per item? 1 bill, 2 bill?
Yeah, I'm looking at if it's like 20 to 21. This is a chance, 0.42 chance to boom. So if you're doing 5 pieces, it's at least 2 booms. So 2 extra on the low side, so you're looking at like 15 times 7, so like 105 bill, and then you have to redo the potentials, or it says 15 here. More close to 85, you don't have to read the potentials. So doing it straight up on the items now would be cheaper on average. But of course still booms would be higher, so you need to get enough backups.
Yeah.
1.3 average booms, 5 items, 6.5, 7 backups worth. That's quite a lot of weeklies, but...
I guess a question is, how often do they actually drop from each Lomian? Because I just started running with a party, and...
For me, never, but for other people, apparently quite a bit.
Oh no.
Yeah.
My first H Lomian run, I got a Absolab Katara as a dual blade.
Nice.
But,
that's fantastic.
I don't know if I should be counting on Abso drops from that, or if it's just I should just be doing weeklies, a little bit of weeklies every week, in case I boom.
I would do the second thing.
Okay. I just hate it so much.
Yeah, no, I know, I feel that. Cause
I like
19...
Dark World Tree. Dark World Tree is pretty cool.
Yeah,
Pretty
the other one not so
fast.
much.
Scrapyard.
No.
Sucks.
Trapshard, no. So if you were to go to 17, right, on the Arcane with like safeguarding, even if it's no boom and it doesn't have 5, 10, 15, is it? I don't know.
I know 17 is
Way
I think
cheaper.
like a lot cheaper, but
Yeah, like
I don't
1/6.
know how that. Yeah, I don't know how that, because I tried comparing 17 to 21 Absos, but it feels weird in my head being like, yeah, the Arcanes are technically cheaper, but it's also like a lot weaker than the 21 Absos, right?
Well, so how much are we spending on? Well, because the one thing is the hat, right? Having to redo the hat, that's kind of yikes, right? To get the set bonus back. And then the other thing is the droplets. If you have to buy all the droplets, 50 mil each, so then one item is like 5.4 bill?
Yeah.
408?
Right around there, I think.
Yeah, so then you're looking at 1 point. Yeah, so if you would do the Star Wars thing, the Arcane thing, you'd have to do one piece less, right? So you wouldn't have to do you wouldn't have to do the hat and then get the set bonus, and you'd keep this one. So you're looking at yeah, so one is looking at like 85. So for 21 stars for the Abso stuff, you're looking at like 85 bill, and then you're probably gonna want to redo the flames a little bit and the potential a little bit, but you don't have to do the tier ups anymore. But then you have to spend 85 bill, and then when it comes to the Arcane stuff, it's gonna be what looks like closer to 18.5 times 4, which is 75 bill. But then you still have to do the potentials.
Yeah.
So, but then you'd have 19, which would be stronger than the 21 Abso. And all in all, boom chance lower as well, which closes the spread, right? Less likely to be lucky, of course, but also way less likely to be unlucky.
Yes, because that's another thing I was trying to keep in mind too, is that if I do so happen to boom anything going to 19, that's what, another 5 bill down the drain to just buy it back, and then.
Yeah. The main thing is you can safeguard up to 17 and basically have the equivalent of like 19 to 20 star Abso instantly without any risk at that point. And then you can wait either for a backup from a boss and then like try to send it if there's an event, or wait until you do make droplets either through other characters or you have enough money to be able to buy them, but then you don't have to buy the droplets. You just have them as like an insurance policy.
That's true. That's true.
And then if you don't get unlucky, then you have all the money like available still, because the only thing you have to build up is the drop, the boss drops, right? But you're gonna do that regardless, you know. Yeah, I don't know. With them changing the rates as well a little bit of like the armors dropping and stuff in Reboot, I don't know. I would say to go Arcane. I would say that it's fine to try to go like 20 or 21 Abso if it's like your third or your fourth character in the account. Because like getting Arcanes for like 4 characters is kind of like, that's just, no, don't do that.
Yeah, I'm struggling to get one set of Arcane.
Yeah, exactly. And then maybe your second one, like for the first one, you try to get all the 19, and then you know if you have a bunch of droplets, you're like, I'm not gonna try to get to 21. Like that's just gonna be pain. So I'm just gonna throw the droplets maybe on another character and get like 17 star on there or something, and then that character can get on the level of Hard Lucid and Hard Will very easily. And then if you want to go again, but you don't have droplets, then you can be like, okay, like there's a 30% off event or 5, 10, 15. I'm just gonna see if I can YOLO some level 150 gear to 21, and if that works, then I get 20 star Abso. But I would keep that like as on the back burner for like maybe second, but like third or fourth character. Yeah, I think the initial 17 is just so close already to like 20 Abso, especially because you don't need to redo the hat, and the hat is already invested in, is already 21 stars. I think that makes 17 star Arcane already so good. Plus the flames, you can go way harder on that, right? Because you're going to keep it longer. The potential, you can go quite a bit harder on. It'll already be a significant upgrade from now. And then you know, you can be your master of your own fate there. You'd be like, okay, I have 200 bill. I'm just gonna buy some I'm just gonna try. If it doesn't work, I buy droplets. I get my item back. At worst, I go back to them to 17. The annoying thing is if you boom Absos from 20 to 21, if you do go that route, is like, what the fuck do I do now? Now technically it's going to be cheaper to do the transferring thing, which means then I still have to redo the potential afterwards, and then you can, and then you have to get the backups, and you have to do the weeklies, and you know, kicking on more dailies and weeklies is of course what the game wants, but it's usually not what the player wants. And yeah, I would advise to just put the sights on Arcane. I think number-wise, I think it's in your favor as well, right? So like 85 and only having to do red cubing versus like 75 and having to oh yeah, with the boom chance, so like 2 extra. Yeah, it would come out to roughly the same, but the Arcane would end up being stronger, probably more future-proof, and would open itself up for better flames. So I think Arcanes win it there.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
That makes a lot of sense to me.
Okay.
But
yeah, like 2 years ago, I would have said don't even think about Arcane, or like a year ago maybe, I would have said just go for Abso, fuck Arcanes. Maybe get a weapon later once you get enough droplets and stuff, and then just be like 21 gamer with 17 weapon. That's more than good enough for anything. But yeah, the amount of access now is just crazy.
I guess if that's sorted out, that I'm gonna try to go at least 17 Arcanes within the next event.
Mm-hmm.
Is it then worth for me to try to make any small gains right now, or is it worth me just holding on to Meso, making sure I get those 17 Arcanes when I eventually get them?
So you have a full drop set, right, that you're using now?
I do have a full drop set. I actually spent a little bit of Meso on them, so now I actually have lines of luck with my drop gear.
Nice. Yeah.
So
I've got a few double drop as well, I think.
Yeah, I have, I think 3.
Oh yeah, 3 with double drop. Yeah. Oh, so you're getting another superior ring?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that it was on my, I stayed 3 set superior, for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Because I never found a earring drop. And I had to buy 2 rings.
Yep. That slows things down just a little bit. So when you're in like meso set, it's like, what is it, like 5 lines meso and like 6 line drop? No.
It's 5 line meso. 2.
Probably 7.
Yeah,
drop
7.
Down. Yeah.
7 lines drop.
And do you also have like a full 200% drop set?
I have. So how? I think I have like 180 right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, that's very
I have my greed pendants also now drop.
Mm-hmm.
Because my new transposed Sweetwater pendant.
Yeah, what did you do with that?
My new mess. So it's compared to the Sweetwater pendant I have now, it's literally just 2% all stat above where it is. It's the exact same luck flame, just with 2 more all stat.
Okay.
But my Sweetwater pendant is 3 line all stat.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much % luck I need for it to be better on the new one.
You probably want someone with similar stats to like link you or something, so you can compare. Because that one is also 75 and 5 transpose, which isn't bad at all either.
That's 75 and 5, and then my new Sweetwater pendants 75 and 7.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just kind of enough upgrade to work on as well. That's also a good thing though, because that means that this pendant could also become like a meso pendant later if you're going into Cernium, and still give you a really good chunk of damage, and that'll help you transfer over. Definitely something like the attack percentage on familiars as well will be very helpful, because you want like 1 drop rate familiar and then 2 that give you attack percent if possible. and you'll be redoing like all of your hyper stats and everything, you know, to like min max for mob damage, of course.
What actually are the lines on attack percent for familiars? Because I have 3% on a healing fam, but I don't know if that's a small amount from familiars, or if that's like actually big.
I think that's an epic line. Yeah. I think. Can you get 6% attack? Is it percentage or is it percentage attack? Let's see. Like 6%. Critical rate, strength. Yeah, attack plus 6% exists on unique. And maybe, and 5% as well. Let's see if I look for this. 9% legendary. Fuck out of here. We don't do that here. Okay.
I heard some people actually hit legendary with the red cards from.
Oh, I
the
didn't
goo
see
event.
any, but yeah, it was super rare. Yeah, so epic gets plus 3% attack, and then unique has 5 and 6%. By the looks of it.
Okay. So. Okay.
Yeah. So
I
that's
could
like.
actually get a decent chunk of attack from
Yep.
familiars.
Yeah, I only have one with 3% attack myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rolling familiars feels rough.
Yeah.
Feels very rough.
Yes, I don't think you're underselling that at all.
The amount of times I'll see outlined in black, outlined in red will always be too high.
Yeah, any amount of those is too many.
Yeah. Because I'm just looking what I could do for a little bit of short-term gains right now. Just to bump up my BA at least a little bit. For a bit better bossing.
Yeah, the switch into Arcanes is, well, the main thing is that you'll feel way more comfortable just going harder on nodes and on cubes and on flames, because you know you're gonna keep those pieces forever, and even if it does boom, whatever, like Trace is gonna be there to save the day. So I probably just start saving money for that. That's gonna be a big switch. The other possibility is that you get just enough money to get the weapon, and then you start working on other accessories maybe instead, depending on how you are on boss drops, like with the Will and Lucid drops.
I have enough droplets to get 5 that right now, but I don't think I have enough. I won't have enough droplets for backups for a little bit.
Yeah, it would be just safeguarding up to 17 at first.
Yeah, I have 36 of each actually.
Okay, yeah, so you're
So just enough for 5 set.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because weapon and the 12 and the 24 and then the Yep. Then I would probably say just save up on that, because the other thing is also going to be, once you get that glove in, you're definitely going to go for double crit damage on that as well. So that's going to be a juicy.
Oh yeah,
juicy
the
increase.
whole crit damage line.
Yeah. Because that's something you don't want to commit to yet on Abso if you're not sure you're gonna at least send it to 21. So if you're gonna go Arcanes, then you can definitely go hard on that one. Flames. Other than that, I would say just keep an eye on on all the backups that you'll need, right, for stuff like the Superior and all that to transfer Hammer over.
Yeah.
Main thing. What is this monocle? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I might have settled a bit early on a pap mark, but in my head it didn't make sense for me spend at the time that I got it, because I was super I was basically trying to get ready for regular Lucid, End Lucid.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense for me to be spending like several bill, just trying to get like the extra 10 stat, extra 20 stat,
Yeah.
when I could transpose a little bit early and spend all that money just trying to get equips up there.
Mm-hmm.
But now I kind of regret it. Like I could have went higher with it.
Yeah, yeah. Now you,
I could have
yeah.
went a lot higher with it. I'm looking for my second pap mark to replace it.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. And then if you get that, again, this one can also go back for Mezzo and be a much stronger piece than it otherwise would be. And then it'll help you in Cernium as well, just like the pendant did, right? That way you can still maintain some of the value, and it won't be completely a waste, quote unquote.
Say somehow I stumble upon a pitched boss set drop.
Mm-hmm.
At what point is that going to be better than the transposed Sweetwater monocle that I have?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you do like the perfect calcs, even if you get like a good transposed one that would be like a little bit higher than this, if you would get that to 21, I think technically maybe a 20 eye patch like with a really good flame, because of set bonus, could become slightly better, but like to sit at 20 is a little would be a little cucked. So it'd probably be like 21 just to make sure that it's like significant enough of an upgrade. And you just want to send it to 21 Star Force before you make any other investments. And then if it doesn't go, then you don't spend anything on flames and on Star Force. Unless you're like, okay, I'm okay with 17, that kind of stuff. Then that's fine. Or you just anvil it first and then you try to send it, see if it booms. But I think 21 is people go for 21 or 22. Like that seems like the only two stops really.
Speaking of Star Force, I was told that you know how star catching eventually like speeds up, right? Does the faster star catching actually increase the effectiveness of star catching?
No, it's the same.
Or is that just something I was told and that doesn't actually happen?
No, that's like urban legend. That hasn't been proven anywhere. It's just either you hit it or you don't hit it. But then you wait. If the clock hits 0 at the end, right, then the speed should reset. So if you're close to that, you can wait a little bit, and then you can start star catching again more easily.
I see.
I think there's a little delay on the clock versus the maple time, maybe like 10 or 15 seconds. But then you can, as soon as you see a 0 on the clock, you can go back. No, I haven't heard that ever. That hasn't been mentioned anywhere. So I think that's a little bit urban legend or superstition kind of thing.
I heard that for the first time while my friend was trying to 15 his arcanes in the no boom room. And I was like, is that a thing? I swear that's not a thing.
No.
I want it to be a thing.
Yeah. If you can hit them, yeah. They're quite tricky on EU ping for me. It's not that evident, not self-evident to hit those things. Otherwise I don't see any stuff that needs like a lot of work or anything. You're working on that pendant. It's all about getting the backups and stuff. Wait, did I miss your cup? What's your cup flame at?
Oh, I guess I didn't link the cup. It's 20 dex, 72 luck, 4 all stat.
Oh.
So it's pretty decent.
That's
pretty
fine.
decent for now.
Yeah, I'll probably just mainly save everything up for Arcanes. That's what I would do. And then after that, it would be just checking on where you have the most backups for the other ones. And then that would be like the first project you go for, right? Like say you have a whole bunch of reinforced earrings, then maybe you push those first. The easiest one to get, if you don't get enough backups for anything that you're comfortable with, the easiest one is to just get a bunch of pink bean belts and do the belt first.
I actually have a spare superior belt, and I'm wondering at what point, at how many backups would I need for me to be tapping on the belt itself? Because I've seen people with like 4 backups being like, oh, I'll just transfer 21 to 20, and then if I tap boom, then I have the backups then.
Yeah.
But then I'm still transferring 21 to 20.
Yeah. Those are basically the options.
A safe risk.
Yeah, so if you're eventually wanting to go for 22, then most people will be like, they'll transfer and then tap it with as long as they have at least one backup. And if you're on your last backup, you just settle back to 17, something like that. If you're going for 21, then you'll do the same, but you can also start risking earlier if you have like 2 or 3 backups that you just go on the thing itself, right? Because you don't have to go 20 to 22, which means that last part is going to be less risky, so you can take more risk on the front end. Because if you get lucky with a 17 and it does go straight up to 21, then you can save yourself a whole lot of trouble, of course. And it's always going to be a little bit cheaper on the item itself than having to transfer over and do again, especially if there's legendary familiar involved, legendary potential involved. If you're only trying to aim to get up to 20 and you have like 1 backup, I probably would still do the transfer, because then you're done, and then you can just build backups, and then if eventually you ever want to go for 21, then you'll have the backups to make that work, and then you keep that contingency open. It's probably how I would look at it. And yeah, I would look at it similarly with all the other pieces, but since your potentials for these pieces are like all unfinished, I would probably, well, if you can, it's not the most important thing. Like the most important thing is where you can get the backups or not. But if things have equal backups, I would look at the thing that stands to gain the most in terms of potential as well, right? So I would probably do the ring first before the earring. If you have like similar backups anyway, you have like a bunch of kind of treasure rings, or you can make a bunch of meisters and you have a bunch of reinforced earrings, then one will take more work to get the potential there. So
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but that's how I would look at that, and then we don't touch the Abso anymore. Slowly work on the arcane symbols and the nodes. Yeah, an emblem is gonna be later.
Ooh, yeah. So I actually had 18% emblem, and I got tilted one day and spent my savings on it. So I spent like 10 bill, and this is the first 21% line I've seen in 10 bill. And yeah, I'm not touching that for a while.
Yeah, it can be
I'm not
bad,
touching that for a while.
If you're looking for a 3-line or like very good double line, maybe an IED, and then you swap a lot of other stuff around, you're looking at least at like a 30 bill investment. So until you have that kind of money just available, I think it's basically going to be like once the next upgrade is like all the accessories are 20, or maybe some you got to 21, and all the arcanes is like 17, and you're thinking of maybe getting the arcanes from 17 to 19, then probably the emblem comes in there before you go arcane 17 to 19, probably.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Unless you have a backup or you just feel like YOLOing, but like a cube sale can shake that up a bit, right? Like there's a 5, 10, 15, maybe, and you have a backup, maybe you go for the arcane. If there's a cube sale and you do have a backup, but maybe not like 80 bill money, but more like 40 or 50 bill money, then you can go harder. And there's a good chance you hit like a 24% or something. That would also already be an upgrade. And they could be like, okay, do I get that 2 bill in? Maybe keep going. Do we get that 25 bill in? Maybe keep, however you're feeling in the moment. I think you put a number in 3-line. I got mine under 5 bill. It's all RNG. Yeah, but there's still an expected cost that you're going to pay to get it. Some people are luckier, some people are unluckier, but there's still... I would make sure that you have at least 30 bill worth to spend if you're trying to get 3-line. I don't think... Yeah. You can always hope for it, right? But you shouldn't be expecting it with less than that.
In that 10 bill, I hit double prime. It was like double prime magic attack. It was 3-line with double prime. And then I hit another 3-line magic attack. Then I hit another 3-line magic attack.
Yeah, I hit 2 of them as well before I got my 3-line attack. I had 2 30% magic attacks. You hit a 33 as well. Yeah, that's really rough.
Yeah.
If only we had trade in some way. You could just... Someone else is a 33 on attack.
I've been making an Evan bossy meal because I love that class. And it does not have 3-line magic attack.
Did it roll attack?
But my Nightlord had it.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's just 2-line right now, and then useless 3rd-line.
Yep. Yeah, that's fine for a long time.
But It
Okay.
just feels bad. It just feels bad that I rolled 3-line magic
For
attack on
sure.
my Nightlord.
Yeah, they'll never not feel bad. You gotta roll some
It
like
could have been great.
33% intellect and stuff when you're working on your accessories, trying to get those 3 lines,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's inevitable. You're gonna roll like 2-line magic attack, 1-line attack on your weapon. You know, it's gonna be like, ugh, why?
Oh, my weapon right now is 2-line
Yeah,
attack,
yeah,
1-line
exactly.
magic attack. And
Technically 3-line
my
attack.
Evans wand is 2-line magic attack, 1-line attack.
Yeah, of course. I think my marksman hit that as, yeah, on the emblem. Yeah, I've got 12 attack, 9 attack, and then 9 magic attack on the emblem. It's just, you know,
Ooh.
it's a thing that happens.
It,
What are you gonna do about it?
that hurts so
Yeah.
much.
Oh well, I was looking for 21 and I got 21, so.
It only doesn't happen because you're believing that it'll happen.
Yeah, it's, yeah, your self-fulfilling prophecy. For psychology, nothing works. It just always goes the other way. Okay, I'm checking the pieces. I don't know if you have. Is there any specific piece that you have questions on? What the future is?
I guess. So for the superior earrings,
Mm-hmm.
I've tapped. It's only 27%, but with
Mm-hmm.
the very few amount of 3 lines that I've gotten, right?
Mm-hmm.
That sounds super valuable to me. So I don't know if I want to be just risking tapping on it, right? And then boom, and then I have to get a backup for it,
Mm-hmm.
or if it's still just worth getting like a reinforced to 21 and then rewriting the potential.
Yeah. So from like objective point of view, like 27 is in like grand scheme of things on an accessory is very easy to reroll. Like on the grand total of things is very very cheap and a low investment. When it comes down to, you know, like what order you do things in, like let's say you do end up doing a bunch of other stuff first and you have like 5 backup superior Gollux earrings by then, well then by all means just try on the earrings itself, right? Because if you don't have to redo the potential, then that'll be preferable. But you know, if everything else is kind of done and like, okay, the earrings are obviously next because everything else is going to be super expensive and you just have 1 backup earring or something like that, then it's like, well, looks like we're going to have to do the old transfer route, and it'll just, yeah, they'll just have to happen. But the good thing is about having a lot of expensing stuff to do is that you have a lot of time to build backups, and then you can just always pick whichever one has the most backups and whichever one will be the easiest. And as long as you keep that in the back of your head, like the earring, you know, if possible, you wouldn't want to redo the potential, then that could be the added value that you just wait a little bit longer because you'll need all the time to get all the dineros, right? Because you're probably not going to get any pitch boss sets. That's going to take a while. You want to get a bunch of kind of treasure. You want to get some more primals, you know, all that stuff. Maybe that other ring is going to come into play, right? For the slime ring around the winter. Maybe you start messing around with that thing. There's enough to distract you. And as long as you're moving on those pieces, and since you're going to transfer hammer, at that point you do 1 piece at a time, right? Like for CRA, you do like all the 17, all the 18, all the 19, whatever. But for these pieces, you're not going to do that because you're transferring over. So you do make big initial investments on each piece, which gives you a long time to, you know, hopefully get some backups. Or maybe you get lucky on reinforced ring, for example, and you don't have to buy too many, maybe only 1. And then you left with a lot of Gollux coins. And then you could say like, well, I got the other pieces to 21. I'm not really wanting to get to 22. You could technically buy like 2 or maybe 3 backup superior Gollux earrings by then. That's pretty reasonable to get it on the item itself within like 4 booms, right?
Yeah.
So those would be options. Okay. Any other piece?
I guess the last question that I would have is because now there's an iframe ring, right? The Kerr ring.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And in the same quest line, it's also the fatal raw ring, right?
Yes, critical damage one, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that I do want the Kerr ring just for the iframe, but when should I even start moving into those types of rings? And is the fatal raw ring even ever worth it?
That's a good question. Yeah, I did contact Ghibli, and they did relay to the team, because right now you can't max 2 rings. You can only max 1, I think, because you have like a limit of you have to do some quests to get some upgrade modules, and you only have a limit of how many of them you can get. I think you can max upgrade 1 ring and then get 1 upgrade for another ring or something. But you can't full max it. So for you on the Nightlord, for the survivability wise, since your burst is already like so crazy, if you do need to survive, like Dark Side is really good, of course, but if you do need the survivability, then the curring would probably be the most important. When you start doing that, honestly, if you I think you should probably be fine because of how much stronger everyone's going to get. Like with all of Hard Loose and Hard Will, that should be totally fine. It's mainly if you're going to start moving into Tenebris bosses like Gloom and Dark now. Those are just really, really annoying.
I see.
And then you could just pop the ring and then pop your burst without having to, get hit by 16 million other things. That'll just take a whole bunch of pressure off of performing in the boss, especially if you're in Last Resort and you're like, everything that hits you kills you. That's gonna give a lot of extra value to iframing.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's probably like what 265-ish or something, right? 265 plus, yeah. Because even for Ferricilla, I don't think maybe for Ferricilla, but like Ferricilla, it's only if you're in the corner and you're in Last Resort and there's like poison spawns on you or something, then you could go like 100 to 0 real quick. But yeah, it'll depend on the type of run, depend on how close it'll be with your party, right? And again, we're talking like reboot passive should be changed by then, so who knows? Maybe parties can get to the point where they can kill it quickly a lot faster by then. We'll have to see how big the changes are.
I want to see the damage increase from the final damage.
Yeah,
I've been waiting for
me too.
it for so long.
Me too. We're gonna see some. I mean, we already saw screenshots in non-reboot for people with like 2 bill range. I wonder if people in reboot can get close to that. Maybe we can dream.
You can dream.
We can imagine. Yeah, and I guess that's when Oz rings and stuff will become increasingly important as well, right?
Yeah,
for the
I do know that I should be getting ROR4 eventually. Eventually, I still haven't started Oz. I didn't do the skill tree during Do. So
I did a little bit. Yeah, I didn't do nearly as much as I could as well. It's for burst classes, it's just insane how much damage you gain. But all the RNG. Hamtorio had 1 bill plus. Oh, nice. Yeah, I guess Hayato's would be way up in there. Yeah. I guess we didn't go over the inner-ability at all, but it's probably best to just, since you don't have that much honor, just to sit on that for a while, right?
Yeah. The reason why I don't have much honor EXP is because I kind of troll it sometimes, and if I ever feel like I want to cube something or just want to roll something, I roll that instead, so that I don't go wasting all my meso before I need to. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna start saving for the increase rates, right? It goes to like a 3% chance for.
Yeah. Right now they did like the color thing and the locking thing, but they're still removing some excess lines and redistributing the percentages a little bit to make it better. You're talking about like getting crit rate and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still got an increase coming, and that's also gonna free up that extra crit rate that you might not need from the Legion board and might get the link skill free. So that would be valuable for sure. We're gonna have a 50% off honor roll Sunny Sunday. Yeah, but that's not something you want to look at this position with 26k honor experience. That's not. You want to skip
with
that.
This little honor, nah.
Yeah, you wanna do that some other time. But yeah, there is always keep an eye on the events, of course, for the Sunny Sundays. Very true.
Yeah.
All right. I think we got through everything then, unless you have any last questions.
I think I've got everything that I wanted to.
All right. Shout out to Delight, the dying guild, or the retiring guild.
It was actually my old guild that was retiring.
Okay.
I think Delight's still going.
Okay.
Delight's still going strong. I just switched a week ago.
Right.
But Delight I think is still going strong.
Good. Yeah, I was even those changes come to guild PQ and everything. How that shakes things up a little bit.
Yeah.
It should be interesting. Okay, well, I guess nothing left to say but good luck then on everything. I hope the Arcane drops come in quick, so you don't have to spend all that money on the droplets. That'll always be nice.
If the claw just drops, you know, that would have just made the decision for me, you know.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
it would have been free. I wouldn't have to worry at all about whether or not I wanted to go full Arcane. But at this point, I've been running for a couple months, and just like literally nothing but a Lucidroid has dropped for me. So I'm just like, yeah, maybe I just buy it at this point.
Yeah, it's just such a huge increase, especially since you're sitting on 15 on the Abso. So
yeah,
the weapon is gonna be massive spike, especially if you're looking for a bit higher on the burst. Yeah, you can put your nodes to better use. It's always worth it. I've never heard anyone, even people who get a drop right after, no one says like I still don't regret it because it's just so huge.
Yeah, because then I get to roll tap to 21 if I have a backup.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but
if you have the money, because that's still very expensive.
If I haven't seen that, it's very expensive.
Yeah.
But just hit and you win. You know.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I did on my weapon, and then I got 5 more drops afterwards. So, yeah.
Good.
Beautiful. Okay. Well. Yeah. Best of luck.
Yeah. Thanks, Scardor.
Yeah. No problem. You're welcome. And I guess I'll see you around.
Yeah. Good luck. Good luck.
You're right. Thank you. See ya.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Cool. So we got Rip Andy. Andy's friend. Got him sorted. Yes, of course. It's as always. It's a little bit of everything, right? Maybe a little bit more Legion than so far will help a lot more. But yeah, having to restart with the nodes and everything is never fun when you're switching over, and even the damage went up. Even coming from a weapon like this is of course really big as well. So yeah. You notice like some things are in a different stage than you'd expect them, but definitely I would say going Arcanes is definitely the way. Yeah, it's just like money wise and then accessibility wise, it's just the thing to go for. So yeah, hopefully this was helpful for you guys. Remember always, if you would want to win one of these sessions for free, I pick 2 winners at the end of the month. So leave a comment on the YouTube in the YouTube comment section. That you would like to win, so I can know who is possibly a winner, right? That just rolled off the tongue. Smooth talker. So yeah, hopefully this is also helpful for people who are in a similar situation, and maybe people who are considering switching between Dual Blade, Nightlord. It's a huge step, of course. Having to redo the nodes and starting over from there. I don't know if I would advise to extract them. I would probably keep them, but that slows down. It does mean that you have to build up more nodes before you make the switch, right? Way more. Probably like 2,000-3,000 at least to get you started once you switch over. So, yeah. Hopefully that was helpful. And I'll see you... Oh, yeah. Before you go. If you have data for me, or you want one of these sessions, or you want to join the guild, links are in the description. And if you need links to any of the resources that we're using, those are in my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Scardor, and I stream there every day. So come swing by when I'm live, and you can ask me what you want in the chat, and me or one of my helpful viewers will help you get closer to your answer. All right, thanks for watching. That's what I said, and I'll see you on the